So I'm in the Beta shopping center. I can see how this lighting's working. And I was just trying to think about this. Okay, so on my way over here, there was something that was popping up. Okay, so it used to be. I mean, like again, this is like MIB. At least that's what we used to call it for MIA. Excuse me. There's an Xavier, and it's spelled Xavier. Okay? He's a man who is the character or caricature color. Actually, he's much darker, but it's the inspire for conspire on Disney's Mr. Incredible, Mr. America, whatever. So that movie, the Frozone, Frozone, the color of his whatever, the Frozone outfit. He has glasses over his eyes. That is actually a real character in real life. His name was Xavier. And the color of the uniform that the character in the cartoon wears is the color underneath the things. But the color of this and this is not supposed to be the same. The color is a genetic anomaly that is acceptable elsewhere. It is not an acceptable genetic for this blue marble project that I am on. End of story. So there was a problem with the Xavier being called into something where he's like, well, why are they placate? It's a placat, PLAYCAT, makes no sense to outer, I call outer rim, but outer rim people. They placate, PLA, I don't know how to spell it, ICATE, I don't know. That's where like you just tell somebody something just to make them go away. Right, yeah. She doesn't do that. This is a sprite, SPRITE. It's a claro, CLARO, and clear, CLEAR. You might have to get like the medic because you're like, clear, like heart attack. Yeah, one of us tells the truth and it's always her. The rest of you idiots lie about everything. Now, on this plan in this radio, I have Khashoggi files, but my Khashoggi, when I speak how-show-gi, it's spelled differently than some family name. So I have the SIA, the head of the SIA, SSIA, is in America that I hate, and has been, but it has nothing to do with Syria, SYRIA, the country, COUNTRY, at all. It has to do with my EPSILON, my dollhouse equipment, and it spells out Russia, but don't get excited because there's some venereal disease in the eye over there, and we call them Asia. My Russians are my good people, and then there's Asia. So that's how that one goes. But let's see, there was a Khashoggi, I heard a familia name on the radio, and I'm like, whoa. And then they were talking about Svi. I'm like, whoa, why are my cymbals and my high sai on the radio, on the spracha, and some being announced in Syria? And I said, well, I got to spell out Syria because I got to go back to like my level SSIA. I'm like, SY, right? I was like, okay, so that's psycho. And then, I know that's systems if I dial in. And then it's not RIA. That's the problem. That's the Iber. IBER. The Uber, UBER, is RHE and then A on that one. But again, if you speak them without seeing the letters written out, then it gets confusing. Then there was another thing that reminded me of Mon Petit Chouchou, which is Xavier with the genetically not allowed on this blue marble. There's pebbles elsewhere in my cobblestone work that whatever, leave him over that way. I don't want it interfering with my appearance here. There is a Castillo and de hombre. Okay, uno momento per favore. The hombre, the original SSIA word, hombre, is the which is the whatever. And then there's the, which has an arid, ARID. I have an ID for the arid climate that when I speak to those people. But I haven't been out of New York and I don't even know where their people are at this point. It's very confusing. And again, I have none of my records. See, now when you're a booking agent and a bookie, like it gets really difficult when the family's names then become manifestations in like a loogie. You mean like haka-loogie? Like, I thought that the Lugers did the pistol and that was a good thing. When did they become spit? Does that have to do with the goober, Guber family? I don't know, like goober's another one. You get like a goober in your throat and you want to, I mean like, again, these are like familia fights. Like, why am I being punished in real life for stupid spracha, like comparisons elsewhere? I mean, these are between other families. Like, hello, I'm not getting paid for this shit. Let's think about this. Okay, and so then there's a Castillo, and then there's the hombre. Now, I worked for a Hector. We called him Castillo. Castillo. Non importante per lei. He was, I don't know what nationality, but he lived in downstate New York, and he owned a downstate New York exit franchise for real estate he bought from Steve Morris in Canada. I mean, is this important to you peoples? I don't know. Do you work manifestations? Are you working Ender security? Well, I work Ender security. Are you working Uber security or Iber security? I don't know. None of you ever are honest while I'm in the mild delta radiation field. I mean, it's gamma radiation field, and I got the delta with the egg with the spiral thingamajig. And it is like, what on earth do I do while I am waiting for you all? Let's think about this. That I thought about this before with the delta egg, and now I am like, oh, right. Oh, last thing, for hand signals. There is a pay for service. Yeah, exactly. This is usually square root of a letter or an anomaly, which usually gets me to an answer. But there is, like, when you dip an Easter egg, with kids, when you color Easter eggs, right? Eastern Athletics Association for the EPSILON, right? Pretend the EPSILON is the egg. Just pretend for a minute. And you put it on this thing that looks like this, and it goes into the water, and it gets colored, and then it comes back out of the water, and oh my God, you have a different color egg. Oh, look at that. Right, yeah, okay, there's importance in that, in scary things, for deep sea fishing dives. One of those services is very expensive, ENDER. I don't know if the Iber manifestation idiots, you'd have to look on the idiot machine at stupor and stupid. If those idiots are causing petitions to rip the tits off the bull and then hold the bull and the tits away from each other. Right, you might want to check that in the black operations of Blackwater. And what is Mickey Sticker Club doing now? I can't help it if they keep hurting me and then they're the Easter egg machine has to whatever. I mean, this is my blue marble, and they're the idiots that keep doing things we're supposed to be fixing, but apparently they don't want to be honest about which one of their idiots and family, in the mi familia, is hurting the bookie and the booking agent with this stupid level of wealth and security concerns. Yeah, usually they're not. I mean, at one point we are all become friends because we're all scared of each other and have to protect one another from all the rest of the things below us. But I don't even know how to find those people anymore. It's not like they walk around in the cesspool with me. I mean, I'm in the 5 o'clock shadow of death. Yeah, well, I mean, it's like nobody shaves because they can't afford razors and they don't bathe because we're homeless. And it's like really gross around here. So if you want to come walk the 5 o'clock shadow of death with me, I mean, I'm a sprite. I am not supposed to be left out on the Fidelis in a 5 o'clock shadow myself. No, I don't have facial hair, but it is like, it is hard to afford razors at this point. Right.